Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be talking about patch notes 14.17, and that happened to be like a lot of the champs that I actually play. And I mean, I made this a bit late because I had to try out the champions, see how it is, because the champs were nerfed, and both were Kindred, Brand, Lilia, and those are champions I do play a lot. So yeah, I'm gonna give my insights on what I think strong. I've made some tier lists basically on what I think in low elo and high elo, and I'll make sure that you guys know why I put these rankings. Okay, and yeah, essentially, well, let's look at the patch notes because Brand is a champion that looked like it got gutted. So if you look at the nerfs, Grace got buffed, Kindred got buffed, and Brand got nerfed. Brand's not here, but there's Brand here. I can promise you that. Brand got nerfed, and Lilia got nerfed. And I'll be talking about that on what is good and what is bad. And honestly, I've played some Brand. It's completely fine. So I'll open the tier list as well. But as long as Brand has Leandris and Rylai, this champ is super OP. Okay. Um, I have like two tier lists, okay? One of like high elo, one for low elo. So I'll start with low elo first, and I'll give my thoughts on it, okay? So basically, this is low elo tier list. I will just show you guys a bit what I think about it, which is that I'll open my Epic Pen. Epic Pen. Which is that I think these champs that I mentioned in S tier, as if you're in Diamond and below, is really, really strong. So why is this? Because essentially these champs are like really good because Kazakh's Assassin has pretty decent scaling as well right now. If you go Profane Eclipse with the right build, this champ's pretty good. Just make sure that if you play this, if you blow Diamond, please don't go for random ganks. Only go for ganks if you actually succeed. All of these champs are very farm centric in a way, and they scale pretty good. That's why they're good, and they're actually not bad at skirmishing, because these champs are like so good that you just fight and you can usually win them. But make sure you stay well fed and don't go for random ganks, okay? Um, yeah, next is like the A tier. Why do I put this A plus? And you can see like the differences, right, between like high elo and like low elo. It's a bit different. But why do I put these champs like in A plus here in lower elos? Because these are champs that people find it difficult to play against because, like, for example, Kane comes from walls. If he gets 3 kills, he can complete 1v9. Diana can like ER, get you out of position. If Kirei sits in flash, they might just randomly lose the game. Yeah, I mean, these champs speak for itself, right? They're pretty straightforward. I highly recommend you to choose a champion based off how good you are and what your playstyle is. So, a few tips if you like diamond and below, which is that if you like farming a lot more and you're good at team fighting and have good mechanics, I would recommend champs like, let's say, Lilia, Shyvana's pretty good. I mean, even Hecarim's good, right? And Kat, honestly, all of these champs are good. I'll explain thoughts on like A tier, why these champs are low. For example, here I put Kindred on A tier, but I put it A plus on high elo, right? Because even like B tier considerably Kindred, because these champs require like a bit more skill and they're not as easy to execute. They require a bit more spacing, require a bit more like temp understanding, and these are the type of champs that are like solid, but they're not as good as like these champs, because these champs like scale decently and they're good at fighting. So yeah, B, you can see here clear difference. It is B, and it is like A here. The higher elo you get, the better it is, right? Nearly like B tier, but in high elo, it is pretty good. It's at least A tier or A plus, right? And even Talia, I put Talia on like A plus, low elo B. Why is that? Because positioning tempo is so important, and you don't win 1v1 on Talia. And in low elos, people just like straight up fight 1v1. But Talia, that's not how you're supposed to play her. You're supposed to play for your support, walk together, get control, and walk together, right? So essentially, this is my diamond and below tier list. I explained a bit of my thoughts. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. I'll do my best to respond to everything. And regarding the high elo, I'll get to this one, which might be more interesting if you're high elo. But even if you're low elo, it will still be interesting. But basically, why did I put these champs so high? I still think that after the nerfs, these champs are completely fine. On Lilia, the things that I nerfed were like this. It's basically, well, 70, 100 over 3 seconds. And you'll only feel this once you get like Leandri a bit. Before that, in early game, you barely feel it at all. These Brandners, for example, it doesn't matter. I think the only thing that might matter is like, I mean, the only thing you feel is like the explosion cap. But the thing is that in team fights, Brand's Brand, it's still fucking OP. And the clear is actually not bad. So the only thing that matters a bit is that they actually nerf Fleet, which matters actually for mid laners. Because like now they nerf Fleet, absorb life, which is good for like Lucian, Tristan, and Zerius on mid lane, right? So if you see less of those champions, I would recommend to not pick those AP champions. Brand is good because people play like all of 80 mid laners. But let's say that you have a Cork, so let's say you have an Anivia on mid lane or Syndra, I would recommend, let's say, Kha'Zix. So always try to balance your champion with what you have on mid lane and make sure your team comp makes a bit sense, okay? But yeah, why are these champions high? Because essentially, I think Kha'Zix, especially right now, and I think even high-low, a lot of the champs that are being played are still AD carries, and Kha'Zix is really good against squishy AD carries, okay? Why is Lilia good? Because if enemy team can't really go mercs, and you have a lot of AD champs, if you get a good flash ult, which is very easy to do, you just win a fight. Why is Brand good? Well, in team fights, usually in high elo, it's just like people play slow, you just farm up, you go for team fights, and this champ is extremely good. That's why currently I put this in S and the rest on A. Is because even though Kindred got nerfed, I still think that this champion is not as good as the others, because Brand's teamfight king Kha'Zix is, well, it came in against Kindred, plus it is good against AD carry, can assassinate them. I think Kindred against Lilia is fine, but still, I feel like Lilia can have more impact in the game than Kindred, because Kindred's like walking at you like this, but Lilia can just like run at you with insane movement speed and just make some magic happen and completely 1v9. Just something to mention about Jarvan. I put Jarvan A, but I actually think in the right situations, he can be an S tier. Why is that? Because imagine Jarvan is playing against an immobile carry. Well, or two immobile carries. EQR, they die. You can win a fight, right? And honestly, a lot of these champs are situationally like even like A+. Like, for example, Neely, right? Imagine you pick Neely in a team comp where enemy is no engage, you have a hyper carry, it's like an S+ item or like S+ champion, but it's very situational. And honestly, I can get through every single champion, but this is my tier list for 14.17. I mean, like a low elo and high elo tier list. Just let me know if you have any questions, and yeah, that is pretty much it. But I would say, cut down is changed as well, just so you guys know. So consider going Coop on some champions instead of cut down right now. But beside that, there's not anything that's too crazy. And sad thing is that Graves got buffed, but the champ is still shit. It gets countered by every single AP jungler. So, and it gets outranged by every single AD carry. So the champ still sucks. So anyway, have a nice day. If you like this video, make sure that you just like let me know what you like, what you didn't like, and if you would subscribe, it would help me a lot. But have a nice day.